Hello, how are we all doing? Good evening. Okay, we're live now. Let's wait for more people to join. Please like and share this live broadcast and let everyone know that we are live. We're going to be doing some practical demonstrations tonight. So hopefully we're not going to spend too much time. We're going to go straight to the point, and then I will give room for people to ask questions. So let's just wait a bit for more people to join. Let's wait for more people to join. Okay, so welcome. More people are joining. Please just let me know where you're joining from. If you've come from Instagram, let me know. Let me know where you're joining from so that I'm able to understand the demography of those that are viewing, and I can tailor this session to to benefit everyone that is present here tonight. So please let me know where you're joining from. Just say hello, say hi, say something so that I can see you. Okay, so when we have up to 30 people, we will start the live demonstration just so that I don't keep going back. So I'm going to wait for more people to join. So let's just wait for some more people to join so that we can start before we start the live demonstration. Hi, Edna from Lagos, Junior from France. Thank you. How are you doing? How is it in France now? Where are you in France? I was in Toulouse in June. Toulouse is a really lovely and beautiful part in the south of France. So France is it's lovely, very diverse as well. I love France and I like the French language. Margaret from UK, and you got the link from Instagram. So good to know that the link is on Instagram and our Instagram family can join us. Hello, Evelyn. Where are you joining from? Hi, Frida. Good evening. Let us know where you're joining from. Fatima from UK. Good to have you here, Fatima. Junior from Avalon. Good to have you, Junior. Frida is from Delta State. Junior from the center of France. Oh, that's good, Junior. Okay, so we have 30 people here, and I think we are good to go now since we have 30 people. Please, as we have 30 people, can you like and share? So let's have at least 30 likes. Let's have 30 likes. Let's please like and share this video so that we know that the algorithm can push it out to people that would find value from this content. So I want as many people to gain value from this content. So we have someone from Scotland. You joined from Instagram. Good to have you here. Good to have every one of you. Okay, so I understand that it's Saturday night and we have plenty of things to do with family. So we're going to hit the nail on the head. We're going to go straight to the point and we're going to check for where these jobs are in Scotland. Okay, guys, so I'm going to share my screen with you. Please do let me know when you can see my screen. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like, just say something so that I know that you can see my screen. And then we're going to start our practicals immediately. So share screen, I'm sharing screen now. Share screen, and we are sharing the NHS Scotland portal. Okay, guys, I'm going to ask those of you here, how many of you have your NVQ level 3? If you are watching me, how many of you have your NVQ level 3? How many of you have your NVQ level 3? Let me know. I'm looking at my phone because I can't see my screen when I'm sharing. So I'm going to be looking down. I'm just, looking to see your comments. If you have an NVQ level 3, just give me a thumbs up, or on the chat box, just say, yes, I do have it. If you have a phlebotomy certificate, let me also know that you have it So Fatima says she's on it. Okay, so let me know if you have your NVQ3, and we're going to do the live demonstrations. So how many people here have their NHS Scotland portal profile? So it's called jobs.scot.nhs.uk. So you can see the link. Can you see the link up here on my screen? So that's the link. I will copy the link, Control C, and I will aim to post it for you guys so that you have that link, because everything we are doing is very practical tonight. So I've posted that link for you, and I will go back to our job search page. Okay, so Fatima is almost done. Only Fatima. Okay, let me see if I can pin this message. I'll pin it. Okay, Margaret says she's about to start NVQ at London College of. Why are you going to start NVQ with a different college when Grammatorial offers NVQ? So you're coming to learn from us and you are going elsewhere to do your NVQ. That's not fair, Margaret. We have NVQ level 3 that started this month, August. So you want to do your NVQ with Grammatorial. Okay, that aside, now let's go to serious business. So I've dropped the link for apply.jobs.scot.nhs.uk, and we now have almost 40 people watching. So if maybe at the end of the day, I don't know how many people we are going to get up to, but I want, a good number of you to get your jobs. And please do me a favor, when you get these jobs, come back to tell us, just let us know that you've gotten the jobs. And that shows us that we're doing something that is having value, that is having an impact in the lives of people. So you want to leave on your filter and search, you want to leave your what blank. So for where we're going to look at the areas, I'm going to talk about the areas that you want to concentrate in. I will show you a map of Scotland very soon, and we'll look at those areas. For distance, just leave it blank. For salary, you want to choose your salary scale, which is band 3. You can do band 2, but I'd rather, leave it at band 3, even though we know that band 2 is above the salary threshold. For employer, you're going to, so we have different employers. Now let's look at the employer list. This is where it starts to get interesting. So you have NHS 24, you have NHS Ayrshire and Arran, you have NHS Borders, NHS Dumfries and Galloway, NHS Education for Scotland, NHS Fife. Please pardon me, those guys in Scotland, if I'm not pronouncing some of these, your Scottish names well. We have NHS Fort Valley, NHS Golden Jubilee, NHS Grampian, NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde, NHS Highland, NHS Lancashire, NHS Lothian, NHS National Services Scotland, NHS Orkney, NHS Scotland, NHS Shetland, NHS Tayside, NHS Western Isles, NHS Public Health Scotland, Scottish Ambulance Service, and the State Hospital. So you can see you have over 20 different main NHS foundation trusts, and each of these foundation trusts have their own hospitals, and each of these foundation trusts operate as autonomous NHS entities in terms of their recruitment drive. Okay, so each of them will have their own license to sponsor, they will have their own allocation for sponsorships, and they will determine how many of each pay grade or pay scale they want to sponsor in any given quarter or in any given year. Okay, so for job family, we're just going to, I want to remove administrative services because I do not have much experience on the admin side of things. So I'm just going to go for allied health professions. I want to go for more clinical and, healthcare professions. So I'll click on allied health professions. I will do dental support. We can also look at healthcare sciences because it's very relevant, especially for those phlebotomy and biomedical scientist roles. We can also pick up medical and dental. That's fine. We can go for medical support. So we can also filter nursing and midwifery. That is definitely for sure other therapeutic, and then we can do personal and social care as well. So personal and social care and support services will bring you a lot of porters and cleaners, which may not qualify for visa sponsorship. But again, let's just leave it there and we're going to apply filters. So once we've applied filters, you can see the kind of jobs that we are seeing. Now, a lot of people are narrowing their search to just healthcare assistant roles. But I'm going to tell you that there are so many roles that you want to apply for. There are roles that our students have gotten, ranging from ophthalmic technician to radiographer assistant to phlebotomists to clinical support workers. So it doesn't necessarily need to be your healthcare assistant or your care support worker roles. So let's look at the first role here. It's for a nuclear medicine imaging assistant. So it falls under nuclear medicine and PET/CT scan department. So for this particular role, the job family is healthcare sciences. The salary band is band 3 from 25,468,000 to 27,486,000, which is well above the salary threshold for healthcare support worker roles, according to the new rules that were launched on the 4th of April 2024. The employer is NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde. Like I said, I will come down to the employers later at the end of this video. So you just hang in with me and we'll look at the employers that are worth applying to and the employers that are giving sponsorship for band 3 workers. So if we click on more, most jobs will also tell you if there is anything that precludes you from applying from outside of the UK, or for those people that are in need of a visa sponsorship switch. So the job will actually say something about it if they are not open to considering, people that are in need of a sponsorship. So now this is the salary. We've looked at it. The closing date for this application is the 1st of September 2024. The job type is healthcare sciences. The location is Gartnavel General Hospital. The employment type is permanent, which is what you need if you need a visa sponsorship. You need a permanent role, and the hours per week is 37 hours per week. So we're going to look at this job now in much detail. Now, when you're applying for these roles, please make sure you check the job must be permanent and it's a full-time working hours for you to qualify for visa sponsorship. So you want to read through all these, all the requirements that they're asking for. And after you have read through it, please go down and download the job description before you click on the apply for this job button. So for now, we're not going to look at the apply for this job button, but we do this in our career support week, our master classes at Grammatorial, which is beyond the scope of this video. So for this video, I just want to share with you those jobs and employers that are offering visa sponsorship. And then at our in-house level for our Grammatorial students during our career support, we then show you how to apply for the job. Or for those that register for our phlebotomy and cannulation courses in Manchester or in London, we are going to show you step by step the process of applying for this job, writing an outstanding personal statement that will grab the attention of the hiring managers and land you an interview. So that is where we go deeper into the kind of support that we provide for those that join our phlebotomy UK and Manchester courses. And for those that join our phlebotomy courses, even in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, and in Abuja, you can be rest assured that you are getting a United Kingdom accredited certificate and you can go ahead and apply for these jobs. So nothing stops you, nothing precludes you from applying. You want to just have that level of confidence, and with the tips and the strategies I'm sharing with you, I'm sure you can get it. We've had testimonies of people getting these jobs from Nigeria, so your case should not be different. So, okay, I'm going to go back now to where we came from. I'm just going to go back to our search result. So this is one job we have seen. This is not a job for a care assistant. If you get this job, you're going to get a visa sponsorship with your dependent. So this is not for care assistants. So when people say that the UK is no longer recruiting allowing healthcare workers to come in with their family. Nothing could be further from the truth than that. So it is only care workers and senior carers that have been prevented from coming with their families. So there are many other occupations under the health and care, general umbrella occupation that allows you over 30 different sub occupations or occupational codes under the health and care sector that allow you to come in with your dependents, with your spouse and your children. Okay, so let's look for other roles. How did we get here? Okay, so do not apply HNC. This is for health care support workers. It's a permanent role. It's also Greater Glasgow and Clyde. Like I said earlier, I'm going to touch on the areas that you want to look at. I'm going to touch on that before we finish this particular section. Okay, so let me just look at some of the comments. Margaret said you will take our phlebotomy. So yes, we look forward to having you in phlebotomy. Nkendelen says, how long does MVQ3 program last? So the MVQ3 program we offer are two types. We have the endorsed or the non-RQF, which lasts 3 months to 6 months. You can finish it earlier depending on how committed and how fast you are. And the MVQ level 3 diploma in healthcare support RQF lasts 6 months to 12 months. The earliest is 6 months. We've had people that have finished in 6 months. But if you have maybe family commitments, you have a very busy job, busy lifestyle, and you're not able to commit so much time to it, there is the option for you to finish it in 12 months as well. Okay, so someone said UK Qual, someone said hello. What about sterile technician? Yes, there are jobs for sterile technicians as well. Okay. All right, guys. So please like this video, just like it, and yes, and just comment. How long does phlebotomy course last, and how much is it? So, Paul, it depends on where you are. So it depends on your location. Like I said earlier, we have different locations for our phlebotomy. We have Port Harcourt, Lagos, Abuja, Manchester, London. So you need to let us know where you are. But the phlebotomy course lasts 2 days. 2 days in London and Manchester is very intensive with your theory test, your written test, your practical test, and your vival, your oral test. And at the end of the day, you get a competency-based certificate if you sat all these tests in London and Manchester. So this particular job role, read through the job description and download the job description. This is another very good one that you want to apply for. It's for people with learning disabilities. It's as a support worker, supporting those with learning disabilities. So you're able to provide support for them. And as a band 3 staff, you're going to do what? You're going to also be in a position of responsibility. So you should be someone that has had experience working in a hospital or, in an acute care setting. So you want to have some experience either working in a hospital or in acute care setting. So the good thing about our NVQ level 3 diploma is that it contains a very rich, clinical and practical element, practical side to it. So like I said, I think a few days ago, that NHS are now only accepting for band 3 roles certificates that have a vocational component or competency-based certificate. So they will only accept competency-based certificates or certificates that have a vocational component. So please make sure that when you are buying a course or when you are paying for a course or when you are taking a course, it is a course that has a vocational competency-based aspect, so that you don't end up, we've had a lot of people that ended up paying for the wrong courses, spending a lot of time and money and having to come and do it again. Now, let's look at this work. You have this healthcare support worker preschool immunization. This is also in Greater Glasgow and Clyde. I'm not going to say anything about this particular trust for now. So I will talk about the trusts that you want to target at the end. So let's look at clinical support worker, high-level theater recovery and day surgery. So this job will suit someone that is qualified to NVQ level 3 and has worked in a hospital setting. It will be very suitable for you. So it says we are seeking to recruit an enthusiastic, motivated healthcare support worker to join our theater recovery day surgery team, Gratnav Gartnavel General Hospital specialties with GGH include general surgery, oncoplastic breast surgery, urology, ophthalmology, ENT, orthopedic elective trauma, oncology, and interventional radiology. So you can see that this is going to be a highly clinical role. So it's a role for a clinical support worker, higher level. And for you to get this kind of roles, you need the competency-based certificate. The beauty is that even for people that have never, had a science background or have never worked in the sciences or in the healthcare sector before, this kind of roles or this kind of trainings like the phlebotomy training, the MVQ training, offers you the opportunity to gain experience within a limited amount of time. So experience that some people would take 2 years, 3 years to acquire, you are acquiring these experiences in a matter of months. And it's not how far, it's how well. It's how competent you are. It's how you are able to display the knowledge that you have learned. That is why I like the 2-day phlebotomy courses, because it is packed full. And when you now combine it with the MVQ3, it is a powerful force that cannot be denied or rejected for these kind of jobs if you know what you are doing. So now let's look at more information about this particular role. It's a 37-hour role, which is very good. So there is a guidance note for candidates, there is a job description, there is the person specification. So you can see that these 3 documents are very important. In fact, I call them the cheat sheets. I've had cases in the past whereby I was preparing some of our students for their interviews, and I asked them, have you read the job description? Have you read the person specification? And they are like, no, they've not read it. So I'm like, how are you going for an interview if you've not read the job description and the person specification? You are cutting yourself short. So these documents are very important. Anytime you apply for a job, please make sure you download these documents. Make sure you read through them and you know what the job is all about before you start applying. So it takes some time, it takes effort. Application does take time and effort. It's not something you can just do in a breeze, or it's not something you can say, I applied for a job in 10 or 20 minutes. I will be questioning if you have done it properly and correctly. So I'm going to pause here, and then I will go back and I will share. I will come back and take some questions before I look at that particular job description. Then we'll look at about 1 or 2 more jobs, and we are going to talk about which trust to apply for. Because you can't apply to all trust. You'll be wasting your time. It's not a good strategy. It's not a feasible strategy. It's not viable. You will burn out very quickly. So we want to narrow down to the trust that have this sponsorship, the trusts that are able to take on more people, those trusts that are not overstaffed. Because guys, there are certain areas of the United Kingdom that are overstaffed, and there are areas that you will be there, and to find a job, you ask yourself, am I in the United Kingdom? And there are areas that are understaffed. So instead of going to those areas that are overstaffed because you feel, okay, housing is cheap or certain things are cheap in those areas, you rather want to look for areas whereby, the demand is high and they are understaffed. Okay, so let's take some questions. How long is it in Lagos? So Fumilayo, do you mean how long is the phlebotomy in Lagos? So phlebotomy in Lagos is 2 days, just 2 days. And NVQ in Lagos or in any part of the world for the non-RQF is 3 months, and for the RQF is from 6 months. So Edna said, can one secure an NHS sponsorship job from Nigeria with just phlebotomy certificates? Oh, yes, 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 you can. We have students that have done it from Nigeria with commitment, with dedication, with doggedness. There's nothing stopping you from getting it from Nigeria. What about Port Harcourt? Port Harcourt is 2 days, Uchechi. Fumilayo says, I'm interested in London or Manchester. So, yes, for London and Manchester, I think London, we have a few more spaces for the one starting next week. And for Manchester, it's next month. So the next available slots are in September. Okay, so let's go and look at the job description now. So I'm going to look at the job description for that particular role that we just saw, which is the role of what? Of the clinical support worker. Okay, so this is one of the documents I downloaded. There are 3 documents. We downloaded 3 documents. And this particular document is a guidance notes for candidates. So please make sure you look at it. In this document, you will find the trust values, which are very important for your application. So this particular trust, their values are care and compassion, dignity and respect, openness, honesty and responsibility, quality and teamwork. And in your personal statement, you must be able to do what? To talk about how your own values align with the trust values. So you must be able to mention it. So now it talks about the shortlist and interview panel, getting started, the recruitment system, equal opportunities, their right to work in the United Kingdom, and all about living and working in Greater Glasgow and Clyde area. So I'm going to skip most of this information and I want to just go to the important bits. So it says that only those applicants who can clearly demonstrate in their application form how they meet the essential criteria for the post as specified in the job description and person specification will be shortlisted for interview. So if you are able to demonstrate in your personal statement how you meet the essential criteria, you will be shortlisted for an interview. So at the shortlisting stage, all online application forms are anonymous, and only the education, employment, and assessment supporting statement sections are accessible to the hiring team. I always tell you, it does not matter anywhere in the world you are. It doesn't matter anywhere in the world you are. And you can see for yourself, they say it here, that during shortlisting, they anonymize all your personal information so that there is no bias in the shortlisting. And they look at just your education, your employment, which are your skills, and your supporting statements and any assessment questions, so that it is by merit only that you are shortlisted for an interview and not on the basis of your location or your personal profile. So the selection panel will assess each candidate against the job description, the person specification of the post, first against the essential criteria, and where required also against the desirable criteria. So we'll look at the person specification and the job description for this particular role. So it says that it talks about the interview and how the interview, goes. It's usually competency-based questions, and we prepare all our students. The UK and Manchester phlebotomy students, the diploma students. We are going to prepare you for the interview once you get called for an interview. Okay, so please take your time to read through when you start applying for this job. So let's look at where it says certificate of sponsorship, because I know that a lot of you, my viewers and audience, you are interested, you need, not just interested, you need the certificate of sponsorship for you to be able to stay and work in the UK or to come to the UK. So as I said earlier, a lot of Scottish trusts are offering certificates of sponsorship. And you can see here for yourself, this is their guidance for applicants, and they have mentioned the right to work in the United Kingdom. And they said that they will give visa sponsorship. So applications from job seekers who require current skilled worker or health and care visa sponsorship in the UK, they are welcome. So you will be considered. They told you that there is an anonymous process of selection. So they are not going to do what? To discriminate against you because you are outside the country. And they have told you that they will consider your application. So it's an equal opportunities. They are an equal opportunities employer. So as long as you meet the essential criteria, you are guaranteed an interview, based on their equal opportunity employment policy. So they talk about their pre-employment check stage, their right to work in the UK, certificate of sponsorship for those that require it. All that information is here. So let's look at the person specification now. So for the essential criteria that they are going to use to pre-select or shortlist you for the interview, they are asking for effective written and verbal communication. They will test this effective written and verbal communication in your personal statement. So your personal statement, please do not use AI, because if you use AI, it's just like completely disqualified. So write it yourself. Previous experience within healthcare setting is desirable. Demonstrate caring and compassionate nature, ability to work. So you can see all the behavioral competencies that they are looking for. Okay, so these are the person specification for this particular clinical role. So I'm just going to pull up the job description itself for you. So the job description is very important, and it is even more important when you are doing what? When you are applying, when you are writing your CV, and when you are applying for the job. So it comes in very handy. Okay, guys, let me look at some questions whilst I am pulling up that job description. Someone says, see you in Port Harcourt. Yes, Port Harcourt is next week. Kelvin, I said it depends on where you are. So where you are depends on how much it will cost, because we have different locations. So different locations, different costs. Okay, so let's go back and share the job description. And then once I've done this, I'll just run through, a few more vacancies with you, and then we'll talk of which particular trust is recruiting and which particular trust is giving visa sponsorship. Okay. Fumilayo says, I'm thinking of coming through dependents to do the band 3 phlebotomy in yes, you can. If you are a dependent, Fumilayo, I would recommend you can come and do it in the UK. So you can come and do it in the UK. That would mean that you get the competency-based certificate, which is fine. Okay, so let's go back and let's share the job description so that we now just look at other jobs and talk about the trusts that are recruiting. Okay, guys, can we give a like, please? Can you like this video if you've not already liked it? Do you want to like this video if you are gaining value, if you are getting something out of what we are sharing? Okay, so please let me know if you can see my screen. I'm sharing a Word document. Oh no, I'm sharing the person specification again. So I'm meant to be sharing a Word document. I'm meant to be sharing the Word documents, and which is where the job description is. So I'll go back and look for that particular window to share it again. So job description, why do I have two job descriptions? Okay, can you see my screen now? So give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Yes. So this is the job title is Clinical Support Worker Higher Level Theatre Nursing. And the department is Theatre Recovery and Day Surgery. So the purpose of this job, as part of the multidisciplinary team, the post holder will provide specialist care to patients undergoing surgical intervention in support of the trained nurse often without supervision. They will be required to perform physical, technical, emotional aspects of patient care in an efficient, effective, and responsible manner to a high standard in a busy, acute environment. So what they are looking for in someone that applies for this role is someone that is able to perform physical or what we call clinical skills like venipuncture cannulation, someone that has experience in an acute, busy, acute environment like a hospital environment, like accident and emergency, theater, post-operative and pre-operative care. So these are some of the terminologies that they would be looking for in your CV and in your personal statement. Okay, so I'm going to scroll all the way down, and you can see that the main duties and responsibilities of the role are for patient care is delivering pre, intra, and post-operative care to suit individual requirements of the patient undergoing surgical intervention as dictated by the care plan. Then they also talk about whilst carrying out clinical duties. So what are the kind of clinical duties you may be required to carry out? Like doing blood tests, taking blood samples for tests, which is venipuncture, setting up cannulas, for the patient that is going into operation. So that's pre-operative care. Post-operative, like catheter removal, emptying the catheter bag, vital signs monitoring, ECG. So these are some of the clinical duties that you should be able to carry out. Assisting the registered nurse with patient care, using knowledge of routine procedures, e.g. specimen blood collection, organized apparatus, documentation. So you can see all these skills that we offer are clearly, highlighted as part of the patient care skills. So there are other skills as well that you require, but the main skills are the clinical skills. So once you have read through the job description, it's quite a lengthy material. You don't have to read everything, but I would say by all means, just scan through it. Just scan through it to make sure that you are able to get as much information that will help you in your application. So now we've looked at the three documents. We've looked at quite a lot, and I'm sure somebody has gotten one or two secrets and tips that you are going to use in your next job application. So we look at a few more jobs, and then I'm going to tell you which trust you want to target in your application. So let's share screen again. Just give me a thumbs up when you can see my screen has come live, so I know you can see me. And we'll take some questions. So someone says, do you help with getting the job after the training, or we have to do it ourselves? So we help you, we support you, we give you that guidance. For those that are in the UK or Manchester doing our phlebotomy, you receive very intensive NHS job support. For those that are in Nigeria, in India, in Asia, in any African country, doing our level 3 diploma or the RQF or the non-RQF, you will get to a stage during your course, which is usually halfway through the course. We have a week or a certain number of days that are dedicated to career support, where we help you with the job application. So someone said, can you talk about the £50 job you talked about so we can do together with phlebotomy? The £50 job is for self-employed phlebotomists. So it's for self-employed phlebotomists, and that is in England. So that is in England. Okay, guys, so let's look at a few more, and then we'll just talk about where the jobs are. So you can see senior healthcare support worker. Again, this is a clinical role under nursing and midwifery department. It's 23 hours, so it will not qualify for visa sponsorship. So let's look for some more. Medical support worker. This is a good one. It's 37 hours, and this particular role is in Royal Infirmary of Edinburgh. This will qualify for visa sponsorship. Senior support worker, 34.5 hours. That is also in the community, so you'll be required to be mobile. Most times community roles need people that have driver's license. So if you know you do not have a driver's license or you cannot drive, then I would not encourage you to apply for community roles. So you can see that there are lots of roles, lots and lots of roles. Healthcare support worker, all these roles, are very good. There is a role one of our NVQ level 3 students, got, which is radiographic department assistant. It's a very good role. It's under the allied health professions, very good opportunities for progression under NHS Lothian, and the department is radiology. So you can see that this particular role, you'll be working assisting the radiographers. It's a very good role. For anybody that gets this role, you are well on your way to a very interesting career, but they require the SVQ3 or the NVQ3 for this particular position. So now let's stop sharing and or let's go back and let's talk about the trusts. So which trust do you want to apply to? So if you look at your left hand side where you have your filter, you're going to see employer NHS band. So NHS 24, this particular NHS, Aisha and Aaron, they are historically known to have given good support of visa sponsorship. So you want to look at this particular location. That's a good location. So if I go on Google Map and I just type this particular location, so I'm going to just copy. So I'm going to copy this location. I wish someone can help me spell it. I'm just going to spell. I don't know what I'm going to spell, rubbish. Okay, Google is going to help us. So I'm going to go on maps so that you can see the location and you can see it in, you can be able to look at it and see where it is in relation to other areas in the UK. So we are looking at this particular area. I'm just going to put directions. Can you see my screen? Can you see what I'm sharing? I'm sharing a map. Can you see the map I'm sharing of this location? So if you can see the map, please give me a thumbs up. I'm checking, it's not yet showing the map. Okay, that means it's not sharing. Let me share this tab instead. Okay, so it should come out now. Okay, so we just put maybe glass. Yes, Glasgow. Let's look at it. So can you see where it is? So this is quite a remote area. It's about 2 hours. How many minutes? 2 hours, 49 minutes. Let's just say 3 hours from Glasgow. And if we put Aberdeen, so let's put Aberdeen. So can you see how far it is from Aberdeen? 5 hours, 30 minutes from Aberdeen. So you can see that it's one of those remote areas. So like I said again, when you're applying for these jobs, these NHS jobs, the areas you are applying to, you want to apply for areas that are understaffed or areas that people do not naturally want to go to or gravitate to. That's one of the strategies, to apply for these jobs. So if we look at this area, you can see where it is. It's quite a remote area, far from everywhere. If we look at it in terms of, in relation to other areas in the United Kingdom, maybe let's put Manchester there. So let's see how far it is from Manchester. So you can see, oh my days, 6 hours, 58 minutes, 7 hours. So in relatively, this place is far from everywhere, far from civilization. So if you don't mind to be far from civilization, to be far from everywhere, then you can apply for this particular location. And you can see they've got jobs, they've got jobs, they've got jobs. You know, they've got jobs for a community nursing assistant, which this one is a good one, band 3 roles. So they have jobs. So now let's look at other locations. So we're going to look at other locations. Aisha and Aran, let's check for other locations that we want to also apply to strategically. Let's check the borders as well. So let's also go for okay, the Western Isles. So we're going to put the Western Isles there, and you can see the jobs for the Western Isles. So I'm just going to apply filters, and then we go on to check the Western Isles on maps. So are you guys gaining something? If you are learning something, please let me see your hand. If you are learning something, please just, give me a thumbs up. Western Isles. So let's look at where the Western Isles are. This is more like a lecture. So that is why we took it outside of Instagram, because it's not everything you can really do on Instagram. So we have to take it outside of Instagram. So we can see that there are lots of jobs here in Western Isles. There are lots of jobs, community jobs as well. So you want to make sure that you are able to, you should be ready to get a car so that you are mobile when you are in areas like this, Western Isles. So let me show you where the Western Isles, are, where it is in relation to other areas. Western Isles, Scotland. Okay, so maps. Man, this place is far from everywhere. Guys, is there anybody that doesn't mind to be far from civilization? Let me see your hand up. If you don't mind to be far from civilization, let's discuss. Okay, I'm sharing now. Can you see my screen? Do you mind to be far from civilization? Bola said no. No. Okay, maybe that's a different question. So if you don't mind to be far from civilization, let me see your hand. Now you see where this job is. Can you see this area that is can you see this area that is highlighted in red dash? Can you see this area? So let's look at it in relation to other areas. This is what I call whether it's outer lands. This is the outer lands. So this is United Kingdom. This is Glasgow. You can see this is Dundee. This is Aberdeen. Go and look at where this Western Isles we are talking about is. Now let's do directions. So directions from where? Guys, where should we check? From where to where? Let's check from Edinburgh to this particular Western Isles. So I'm going to do direction and we'll do Edinburgh. So let's do from Edinburgh. Sorry, we could not calculate the public transport direction. Is anybody ready to leave yet? Look at 7 hours by road. Can you see? No public transport. How are you going to? In fact, this place, they should be paying people. I think I read somewhere on their website that they're even paying people to come and live and work in this place. But this is information I'm giving you guys for free. For free. This information I'm giving you for free. Okay, so we did what we can apply to that particular area. So that area will be very remote, very, very remote. And most of their jobs are, you can see home fairs, community nursing. Okay, physiotherapy assistant, this is a good one. This is a very good job. This physiotherapy assistant. So to get this job, you just want to make sure you get some experience in maybe stroke units as part of your NVQ3. So this one is a good one as well. But this is pro rata 15 hours, so it will not qualify for sponsorship. But you want to keep an eye out for this particular location. Okay, keep an eye out for this location. So let's look at one more location and then we'll just call it a day today because we've already spent time. So we'll look at one more location. So let's look at one more location. So ask your questions before we go. I'm going to take questions and answers in a bit. So we are looking at these locations. These are the locations you want to, you want to target. You want to target these locations. Grampian. Okay, I'm just pulling this one out. So we'll look at it in a bit. Grampian is a very mountainous area. Port Valley. So let's check this one out. Okay, guys. So we're going to call it a day, now very soon. So these are the areas we want to look out for. So let me share my screen again. Okay, so I'm sharing screen now. Let's share screen. Okay, so we've looked at Aisha and Aran NHS borders. So those are the borders and the Western Isles. So let's look at islands, and we can also, target. So we said NHS borders, we target Highlands, and we also target. We've looked at Western Isles, so Orkney. So looking at these areas and just they will tell you if it's internal applicants. So you see this one says band 2, 3, and 4 internal applicants only. So only people that are already working there. So if they don't say internal applicants, then you can apply for those roles. So if we go back to for the NHS borders, I will share this tab back to the maps so you can see the areas that you want to apply to. So these are the border areas. So can you see where Orkney is? So let's look at it in relation now to the whole of England or the whole of Scotland. This is where Orkney is. So if you want to get those jobs quickly, these are the areas you are coming to. So this is where Orkney is. So you can see that it's a funny area. The green is where, the land is, and everywhere is just here water. So it's almost like an island of its own. So if we put this Orkney Islands and to Edinburgh, you can see that there is no way to even locate public transport to it. And if you are driving, it will take you over 7 hours. We are looking at about 8, 9, 10 hours to get there. So guys, make of it what you think. I will stop sharing. So I've shown you the jobs that you can get visa sponsorship with. We've looked at the requirements. We've looked at the job description. We've looked at the person specification. We've looked at, if they are sponsoring. And then we've now even gone ahead to look at the areas, where they are understaffed. The areas, so I've just given you insider information about areas that are understaffed, area that is difficult to get people to relocate to, and areas that they are looking for people to come and work. So let's discuss, guys. Will you be willing to go to Orkney to work, or will you be willing to go to which other area did we look at that was outside of civilization? Let me see what area that was. So Orkney is the Western Isle. So will you be willing to go to the Western Isle? Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear your thoughts. Let's discuss. Or is there anybody that lives in Scotland here? Anybody that lives in Scotland? Let me see. Do you live in Scotland? Okay, so Western Isles. So who wants to go to Orkney or Western Isles? So you can see that those two areas, they are really borders and they are like out of civilization. And yes, there's not much, people are not like struggling for these roles, and you will qualify physiotherapy assistant. I'm looking now at the Western Isles, learning disability assistant, physiotherapy support worker. These are all their jobs, and not all their jobs appear on NHS Scotland websites. So that's what they are saying. So not sometimes, I don't know why you are not able to view all their jobs, but I'm on their direct website now. I'm just looking and I can see that there are lots of jobs, you know, for people that are willing to, you know, relocate to the Western Isles. The Western Isles, yes. So they are willing to give some. I'm just checking if they give relocation support. I know that, yes, they will give relocation support for nurses, and I believe that would also be the same thing as well for healthcare assistants, for physiotherapy assistant, and for all other care workers. Okay, all right, guys. NHS North of Scotland, international recruitment. Yes, yes. Orkney, Western Isles, Highlands, Grampian, Shetlands. These are all, you know, giving out visa sponsorship. So do you have any question, guys, before we call it a day? Have you gained something? Have you learned something? Are you going to take action? Are you going to sit down on this information that you have received? Are you going to come back and, you know, testify that you attended this class, you attended this training? I will call it a training because this is a lot of information being dished out. Are you going to come back, you know, with your testimony after you've taken action? After the training, are we going to be placed in the hospital for internship so we can have experience? During the training, you should be placed. You should have a placement where you get practical experience during the training. Someone said, please, when are you having phlebotomy in Lagos? So Lagos phlebotomy is September 12th and 13th, if I'm correct. That is Lagos phlebotomy. Kelvin said, how much is phlebotomy cost in Manchester, UK? So for our Manchester, UK, we have phlebotomy with NHS job application support. So it's a 2-in-1 package. So you have your phlebotomy and cannulation training, and you're also going to get intensive NHS application support. So you want to send us a DM. So Kelvin, send us a DM on IG and we'll send you all the information. Ade, what's your question? Ade Ajala, you asked a question. Okay, I've answered your question, Ade. Paul, okay, so let's take more question. Fatima, you don't mind living in the interland or in the outer lands? That's funny. Okay, so guys, Western Isles, I will need to pray about it too. All right, so I can go to Western Isles in Kendele. You can go to Western. I wish you well in the Western Isles. So, all right, so anybody that goes to the Western Isles, once you get your job in the Western Isles, please do come back and let us know. And I wish you all the best. So Evelyn, the diploma course, send us a message and we'll give you the different prices for either the RQF, which is 6 months and above, or the non-RQF, which is 3 months and above, and the phlebotomy. So this is where we'll call it a day. I look forward to, you know, hearing your success stories. And for those that need to get their qualifications, we are here to help and support you. Please do send us an email. Our email address is, I'm going to put it, info@grammatorial.com. That's our email address. So you can send us an email, info@grammatorial.com. And you can also send us on Instagram. I will be on Instagram responding to inquiries after this live is at Grammatorial. So please make sure you remember to put the double M, Grammatorial Education. So that's our Instagram handle. Okay, so you can pay in installments. Williams, you can pay in installments. We have few slots left for our London phlebotomy. I think about a few slots, if I'm correct, for London phlebotomy starting on Tuesday next week. So if you are just listening to me or you are just hearing me, I'm sure you may be on time to get one of those slots. And for Manchester phlebotomy, the date is in September. I don't know the exact date, but it's September 20 something, about a month away from now. So you want to send us a DM on Instagram or an email, and we'll send you the link to register. So it's Manchester is September 23rd and 24th, I believe. And London, the next London after the one next week is September 16th and 17th. So Port Harcourt phlebotomy is the 30th and 31st. So next week, Friday and Saturday. And Abuja is 29th and 30th next week as well. So I hope to see as many of you. May God bless you. Yes, Mr. Pascal, thank you for confirming Manchester, September 23rd and 24th. Thank you very much for that. 23rd and 24th is Manchester. So I hope to see a lot of you either in one of our phlebotomy courses or a master class for our if you're a registered nurse, if you're already a registered nurse and you just need us to assist you with the NHS job application process, we'll be more than happy to guide you, hold you by the hand, and show you how to do it yourself. At Grammatorial, we always say we teach you how to fish. We don't fish for you. So we are not an agent. We do not do abracadabra. We do not do anything like magic or anything like, come today, get tomorrow. We follow process. We follow the due process. We do a lot of research. We put in a lot of hard work into research and into following process. And we believe that no matter how long process takes, you will always arrive at a destination. You will be happy and proud of yourself that you have done a good job and you have gotten it. You have gotten something, and you are at the point where you can start to grow and build your career, which is what we're all about, in Grammatorial. So God bless every one of you. Have a good night, and I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to you joining Grammatorial family. And for those that maybe already have their qualifications, I wish you all the best as you apply for these jobs. And we are waiting to hear your success stories. We are rooting for you. We are praying for you. We are doing everything we can, within our power, and trusting God that you will get to your destination in Jesus' name. God bless you all. Good night. Bye.